This podcast is brought to you by Raise Your Game Esports, connecting esports to everyone, everywhere. Hello everybody, this is Bowie Abiola at Raise Your Game Esports, and today we have a fantastic guest today, John Sarmie. John Sarmie is the founder of LittleeLeague by Awkward Croc Entertainment LLC. How are you today, John?
I'm doing great, hanging in there. Glad to be here.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to be able to talk to you today. And so can you tell us about LittleeLeague, how it got started, your vision for it, and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. LittleeLeague's really been a passion of mine for a long time. I've got two teenagers. I've grown up in traditional sports. I've coached Little League baseball, flag football, youth basketball, was a Cub Scout leader for many years. So I've always been passionate and involved in youth athletics or in organizations and just being around kids, and really enjoyed that. And throughout my time doing that, I used to do a lot of back in 2010. Actually, this was kind of when I first the idea came to me, because we were doing fundraising for our sports teams, and back then we had the 2K 2K10, I think it was NBA 2K10. It was like we did it was really 3-on-3 type of thing that we did in there, and we hosted these tournaments as fundraisers for our baseball team. And it was great. I mean, we had great turnout. I was like, man, this would be great if we can do this just all the time. At the time, esports wasn't as big as it is now, and it's the Twitch and all that stuff. It wasn't really there yet. But now is really the time. And, I've been in IT and the professional sporting industry for the last 23 years, working at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open tennis, the U.S. Open golf. I've done some Red Bull events with Street Fighter tournament out in Seattle. And that was kind of really my big kind of aha moment when I went and did that tournament. I was like, man, this is so cool, man. Because I grew up in the 80s, gaming, and I just get it. I'm one of those old school gamers that just really understands gaming and the passion and the dedication that it takes, to get involved in playing in those games. So it's kind of just been like a whole career, lifelong kind of leading up to this point for where I'm at right now. So the idea for the LittleeLeague came really, it's a new concept. Pro level is huge, college level is huge, and now it's just starting to get down into the youth recreational type of level as we develop the program. But it's our mission really is to foster in real life social interactions for youth through coaching, connections, and competitions, using esports as the glue.
Awesome.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Awesome. And do you focus on mainly being a pro at a particular game, or do you focus help the youth know that there are other avenues of esports, not just being a pro? Do you do that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Our plan really is to help guide these kids into knowing that, same as traditional sports, only the top 1% players make it. So we want to saying, if you still want a game experience, there's so many other avenues that you have in front of you. It's from, being a game developer, a game designer, a shoutcaster, a commentator, any of the same traditional jobs and careers that are out there for traditional sports, you have in esports. And so, part of our, we're trying to destigmatize what it is to be a gamer as well to the parents, and, teach them that there are a lot of skills involved in gaming that can carry over through to other careers.
Oh yes, and it gives the kids a sense of diversity in what they can do, not just this one path where it's just okay, only be a pro player. It opens their eyes to a variety of options, and that's one thing I really like about that. It educates them in that regard. And so, do you have sponsors so far for LittleeLeague? And how do you guys hope to impact or the esports industry either around where you're at or across the world?
Yeah, so I'd love to go global, but we're starting small here in Jacksonville. We're trying to get some things going. We haven't actually started any events right now. Our first kind of awareness or introduction to the Jacksonville community was in April it was called One Spark. It's an idea festival for creators and for new businesses to kind of share with the public what they're working on. And so we presented this concept and had really good feedback. And talking about the sponsors, we actually met with a lawyer, Wilson Dutra Law, which does trademark work and law, which wants to sponsor all of our game jerseys for all of our players during our league during the season. They're very big into gaming. They just had a daughter and they named her Zelda. Mm-hmm. So they're big gamers when they do that. But we've got some other, I've got some other friends that own some businesses that are wanting to get involved and do some things with us. But we're very local, very small. We're just getting it starting. I'm actually talking with several of the high schools right now. There's 2 high schools here that have esports clubs and are planning some events, and I'm helping them get up and running and using some of our equipment to help them, build out their programs and help them develop their teams as well. And that's really the key is, the more we can get it into the schools and the more people we can get into the schools and help them develop their programs, it's just going to be better off for our program as well.
Awesome. And what games and platforms will you focus on? Will you focus mainly on PC? Will you focus on console games? Is there a particular genre of games that you'll focus on as far as the Esports League is concerned for LittleeLeague?
Yeah, so I know a lot of other organizations kind of like to hit 1 or 2 of the major titles, and that's what they go with, like the League of Legends or the Rocket Leagues or, those big title stuff. I think what we're going to try to do and try to make it more unique is to try to help create more, I guess you could say, just more all-around type of gamers, is that we're actually going to have a purpose and a passion of working with independent developers, indie game developers. So I really want to reach out. We're going to start reaching out to those type of game genres and those co-op type of games, collaboration type of games where they're learning to work together as a team, not necessarily knowing what the game is. And so they'll still practice in those, but we want to throw some other stuff in there that they normally wouldn't get a chance to see or get a chance to play. It just gets the coach and the kids together and talking and trying to figure it out, trying to compete better than the other teams are in something that, they're kind of out of their comfort zone a little bit. But we'll probably focus mostly on PC gaming, and we'll go from there. And, one of the things that we're working on, on the side is we're actually looking at opening up our own gaming facility to act as our host or our home field, if you will, so the kids can come into the facility. The PCs are all set up. Also working with the schools can come in and use our facilities to, host their tournaments or do their practices and get online and compete as well.
Awesome. And when you said PC gaming, the first thing I thought was Fortnite.
Sure.
Because have you heard that parents are like hiring coaches to like teach their kids Fortnite? Esports coaches. Have you heard about that?
As far as the coaching and the parents paying a lot for their kids to develop, it's just natural when they see these stories about all the money that's in esports and gaming. One of the things that we're definitely trying to do is bring in some local gamers from the colleges, come in and be mentors for our kids and to help train them as well and work with them and get their volunteer hours and things like that. And, building a community of, the gamers around it. But yeah, they actually just did a news story here in Jacksonville about the big, the gaming and where the parents are spending a lot of money on hiring, coaches for their kids, thinking that they're going to be millionaires by doing that. But we all know there's a lot more than just a little bit of coaching that it takes to make it to that level.
Yeah, you got to put in those 10,000 hours of practice. You got to practice, because the competition is fierce nowadays in esports, and you gotta do what you gotta do to be the best. You gotta practice, and so Fortnite will be one of the games you support, right?
We'll throw that into one of our seasons. Yeah, we'll definitely excuse me. We're breaking the league into age divisions as well. So a lot of the games that we'll do, it will be age specific, game related, content that we push out there for the kids.
Awesome.
So, yeah, based on the age groups, obviously the older kids and the younger kids are still playing Fortnite. There's not anything we can do about it, but we do want to try to keep keep the games to the content to what's rated for them.
Yeah, and Fortnite is rated. What's Fortnite rated again?
I believe it's teen.
Really?
To be honest with you, I'm not 100% on that.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was rated E10. For some reason, that's why I was asking. I thought maybe I got that wrong. Do you see yourself expanding globally, nationally, or staying locally?
Well, I'd love to. Obviously, like I said before, we'd love to expand this out as much as possible. We're taking baby steps, trying to create a model that we can then scale out. Obviously, once we have our facility and our program is running within our facility and within our city here, I'd love to take this outside and take this model to other cities as well. It definitely takes quite a bit of work, just like any youth organization. It's going to be all volunteer based coaching. Our model really is to try to work with local community, and we bring our laptops, and the coach and the kids go to meet at that restaurant, and they sit there and they play, they practice, and then on the weekends they'll come over to our facility to compete in our in the LAN center. But we don't want people driving all over town, for video game practice, so we want to create these community hubs all over town to where they can just go locally and meet up with their team.
Awesome. And have you had any challenges or setbacks and how have you overcome these challenges or setbacks, or do you need help, or would you like assistance overcoming certain challenges or setbacks?
Yeah, well, as I said, this is just getting started. We're in the process now of trying to find those community hubs. We're really looking, doing a lot of outreach to different places. We have several that have committed, and we're just trying to get some more. And then the really struggle is really getting the funding and obviously to get the PCs, the gaming laptops. It's quite a significant amount of investment and capital that we're trying to raise and trying to figure out what that model is and trying to go from there on that. But like I said, we're very early stages. We'd love to see this thing grow. The more community people that we can get involved. We're actually working with another organization called Renaissance Jacks, which is a robotics league. And so they're already in a lot of the schools. And so we're hoping to piggyback and kind of like a lot of the stuff that they're doing and, try to get more involved in a lot of different aspects and involve more than just gaming.
Oh yes, and it just brings all the youths together, and it's fantastic. It also gives them something to do during the summer vacation months.
That's right.
Awesome. And where do you see LittleeLeague 5 years from now? If you can project in the future, let's say in the next 5 years, where do you see LittleeLeague?
Well, like I said, hopefully LittleeLeague in the next 5 years is outside of Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, that's really the goal, is to try to create a program that can spread just like, Little League Baseball or any of the national organizations that are out there. I know there's a lot of other bigger entities and bigger companies that are doing a lot of the same things that I'm doing. I'm just a little guy, but I think if we can build a strong base and build a good program and get a good following, and like you said, our challenge is just getting a lot of support. I'm not in California. I'm in the East Coast, Jacksonville, Florida. And so a lot of the big players are out on the in the West Coast or in that part. So I mean, there's a lot of investors that are investing in a lot of new startups and new opportunities, and I'm hoping that maybe we're one of them.
Yeah. Have you considered like collaborating with any big entities in Florida? Are there any big entities in Florida that you can collaborate with to help your vision?
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn obviously is a great source of resource for finding people that I'm talking to. Again, we're still early, so it's I'm excited about all the opportunities that are out there and reaching out. And just to give you a little background, I was working full time for the last 23 years in sports for a sports company, traveling the world. And in July, I recently left that company to kind of pursue this a little bit more and try to go full steam ahead on this and just give it all I got. So July really was the beginning of this whole journey for me right now. So what is it, October right now? Not very much time, but it's all coming fast. It's all going fast, and the esports, as you know, is just growing like crazy. There's so many people who wants to do things in it. I want to be a part of it. I think it's a great opportunity, and so yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yes, because people from traditional sports are becoming more and more involved in esports. In fact, I heard that Michael Jordan dropped 21 mil or something on an esports team very recently. And
yeah, I think I read something about that as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, all these these brands are getting involved now, and it's good to see.
Yes, and it's just going to be interesting because, you said that you were hoping to grow, right? You said that you're looking to grow it. Have you maybe considered reaching out to these bigger brands, either in traditional sports or esports, to help you grow and expand?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm starting to do that now. It's been. Last weekend we were at a convention presenting the idea again for more awareness locally. But yeah, as I start expanding and start growing my team, I'm going to be looking for people to help me do that as well. So right now it's me and I've got another person working with me, and we're going to be hitting it hard in the next couple weeks in the beginning of the quarter.
I look forward to hearing that. I look forward to hearing good news. And if there's anything we can do at Raise Your Game Esports to help you guys in any way, whether it's promoting you guys or putting you guys out there more as much as we can, we'd love to help you. And because your vision is a very inspiring vision, and it's amazing. I'm excited. This is exciting for me. This is very exciting, and I appreciate it. Do you have anything you want to say? Any lasting thoughts you want to say to all the esports fans out there across the world, or even just in Jacksonville, Florida? Is there anything you want to say? Anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, keep playing, man. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, like I said, I grew up playing games. I loved it. There's a lot of life lessons you can learn in gaming, a lot of collaboration, a lot of leadership skills you can get from leading your teams in gaming. Just keep playing, keep having fun. Don't take it so serious. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. That's one of the things that we want to try to help these kids understand, is that you want to win and lose with grace and style. You want to respect your opponents. You want to respect your teammates. And you want to keep practicing. You want to practice with a purpose, and you want to play to win, but the winning is not the end goal. Learning, I always tell my kids that we never lose, we always learn. And so there's always things that you can do to get better. If you're not at the top of the game, you just got to put in the work and keep practicing. But as far as like the rest of the world and esports and everybody that's listening, I'm passionate about working with at the youth level and the kids, and that's where I want to be. I really want to help develop a youth gaming league. Jacksonville and Florida, there's not a whole lot of esports stuff going on in Jacksonville or in Florida, so I'm hoping we can grow it and get stuff going. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, they can reach out to me on on Facebook. Our website is LittleeLeague.com. You can find all our social media links on there as well. I started a company, just to give you a little background on my company name, Awkward Croc Entertainment. Awkward, as you know, is working with youth in that teenage years, those awkward age. So that's where the awkward comes from. And then Croc has been my kind of nickname from all my traveling that I used to do in the last 23 years, going to Australia. They gave me the nickname of Croc. It just kind of stuck. So my gamer name has always been Crocodilius. And then the entertainment is just really what I want to provide for everyone, that experience. Awkward Croc Entertainment is Awkward Croc Esports, Awkward Croc Entertainment, Awkward Croc Events. It could be anything, but we just want to be there for helping the kids grow and learn and be a part of that. But I appreciate the time today. It was great it's always great to kind of share my passion and everything that I'm doing. Definitely reach out to me. I look forward to collaborating. If anyone wants to invest in us, absolutely want to hear from you. If you got any advice or suggestions or anything like that, I'm easy. I'm open, and let's get it done.
Yes, and for all you listeners and viewers out there, the social media of LittleeLeague will be in the movie description so that you guys can follow them. And it's going to be amazing. You guys can come check them out. It's going to be in the description down below in the video. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you guys for watching. This is Bowie Abiola at Razor Game Esports signing out.